Okay, today we're going to talk about the types of agreements. There's about 5 different types of agreements that you're probably aware of. There's the regular standard grant, there's the assistance, the financial assistance, and then there's cooperative agreements and fellowships. And there's also contracts and what we call sponsored research agreements, or shorthand is SRAs. The first one we're going to talk about is the standard grants, like from sponsors like National Science Foundation, National Endowment for Humanities, Department of Energy, Department of Education, those kinds of things. And you're pretty familiar with those. With a corporate agreement, usually that involves more significant involvement of the sponsor with you. That's sort of like a partnership, so to speak. And then those kind of agreements have standard terms and conditions that are more friendly to the university. We like those. And they require less negotiation, and they're usually pretty standard run-of-the-mill, as opposed to contracts. Contracts are usually not too friendly in the academic world and more for the industry-related items. And we have a little bit more trouble with those, but usually those require very specific deliverables, specific dates. Sometimes we see them from federal government that's slowing something down, like the federal government gave money to an industry person, and they flow down a contract to us. Sometimes these have very specific federal clauses called FARs and DFARs, which are federal purchasing guidelines. And they also, like I said, involve flow downs, and which can be a little harder for the university to accept because you're trying to marry the two worlds, the industry world with the academic world. So we have a few issues, but we usually work through those. And then we have what we call sponsored research agreements. Those are usually agreements that the university has that contain the preferable language that we like. And usually we make little minor modifications to those, and those work very, very fast. And they're a great place to start negotiations if you haven't worked with a particular sponsor before.